was the first overall pick in this year's draft?
Saquon.
You didn't even stutter.
No, it's
Okay.
Saquon. I mean, every statistical category at the running back position, he was near the top or at the top. Touches, he is going to be a monster, a guy who can catch 90 balls in his sleep, and he's the offense in New York there.
So you're not concerned that he is the offense in New York and that there's going to be so many keys and 8, potentially 9-man boxes that Eli's going to have to break minus Odell?
Nothing he didn't face last season. He's fine.
Okay. And then number 2 you have on your list is McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey. Yes.
Above Kamara.
Yes, Kamara's at 3. Now Zeke would be 2, except for we're dealing with this holdout situation.
So let me ask you this question. He signs before week 1, even if it's the night before, and you have a draft. Do you take him too?
Yep.
You do.
Right now I'm taking him 4 if I can get him.
Even if he's holding out,
Yep.
You're
4.
taking him.
I don't see him missing regular season games, and if he does, I don't see him missing many. So I'm not as concerned. His situation's different than, say, Le'Veon Bell or Melvin Gordon. So I have a lot of confidence that he will play the majority of the games this season.
Where do you have Le'Veon Bell?
5th at running back.
You do. What about overall? I mean, at what point do you...
5th overall. I'm a running backs guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have my first wide receiver coming off the board until a couple picks after Le'Veon.
And who's that?
A nuke. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins. And then Devontae Adams is closely after him. First rounders.
Why is Devontae Adams up there? I know he's an elite receiver. I get it. But aren't you concerned with the way that the Packers offense might look?
No.
With LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, there's no concern.
He didn't score fewer than 16 PPR points in a single game last year. He was so consistent. And then they've got this dude, Aaron Rodgers, throwing him the football, who's, been pretty good during his career in the NFL.
Right.
So Adams, to me, is a lock first-round pick. I have no concerns about him whatsoever. He's going to get targeted a ton in that offense.
Okay, so your top receivers walk me down that board, Mike.
Yeah, so you've got Nuke, you've got Adams. Of course, Julio Jones is going to be in the mix. Michael Thomas, OBJ, Tyreek Hill also there. No Antonio Brown in my top 5. No Antonio Brown in my top 7. Right now, he's 8th. And he's one of those guys that when I'm up in, say, the 3rd round, and if he's still there, I'm thinking, I really don't want to take him,
right?
But I have to. Regression is coming for him. He blocked me on Twitter, by the way. Yeah. Regression is coming. 15 touchdowns is not going to happen. He goes from an offense that had the most pass attempts to one that had the 16th most. Last year, 5th most offensive plays for the Steelers. Raiders were at 24. Ben Roethlisberger, years together, great rapport. Derek Carr. How much work have they gotten in so far?
I know, right? That's got to be a concern.
So, I mean, like, AB can block me all he wants. He can complain about his helmet and his feet are messed up. Regression's coming.
Where are you on Gurley? Where do you stand on Todd Gurley here?
So I've done a lot of mocks. I've done some real drafts too. I've actually gotten him a lot at the end of the 2nd round because at that point, I'm willing to take the discount and I'm willing to take the risk. Because even if Todd Gurley doesn't see as many touches, which it seems like he won't, he'll still see enough opportunities to be a high-end RB2, and Sean McVay is going to give him all the opportunities near the goal line, too. So I'm willing to take the risk there. I've got a league where I have Zeke, Gurley, and Antonio Brown in my first 3 picks. Well, I'm sweating that one a little bit.
Our Los Angeles Broadcasting Center just put up on the board Michael Fabiano's top 5 fantasy busts. Todd Gurley leads the list.
Yep.
With tight end Eric Ebron, who was Mr. Touchdown. He was like Chris Carter, right, last year. Jordan Howard, the running back of the Eagles, then quarterbacks Big Ben and Tom Brady. Why are these your top 5
Now, this list
fantasy
was
busts?
compiled when Gurley was going in the 1st round, way earlier in the offseason. I've changed it since then.
Okay.
At the 2nd round discount, I'm going to take him. Roethlisberger, no AB. Before AB was in Pittsburgh, Big Ben's average finish at quarterback, 14th. So, not a QB1. Tom Brady, he's got the loss of Rob Gronkowski's big in his career, averaged 3 fewer fantasy points in games that Gronkowski did not play.
Right.
Sony Michel is another guy who wasn't on this list I'm a little bit concerned about with the knee, with Damian Harris coming in. Ebron's easy. Like 14 touchdowns last season. He's never doing that again. And in games where he played with Jack Doyle, his targets went split in half. So he's a guy that I would be avoiding as a top 8 pick at tight end.
How come, Michael Fabiano here on the Rich Eisen Show, how come Juju Smith-Schuster is viewed as a dynamite 2 with Antonio Brown as the 1, but as the 1 assuming that whoever's number 2 is not as good as Juju, that Juju can't overcome that in the same way that Saquon's going to overcome a ton of defenses.
I have Juju in the second round. You know, he's one of my top 8 wide receivers ahead of Antonio Brown. So I'm all in on Juju Smith-Schuster.
So then why is Big Ben a bust? I mean, this is a place that keeps churning out the receivers one after another.
Lose a player like that in an offense, like Juju's great and all, right? But you had AB and Juju Smith-Schuster. Huge target shares, both of them over 24% last season. Yes. You lose that, you bring in Dante Moncrief. I like James Washington a lot as a sleeper, but neither one of those guys is going to make up for the production that Antonio Brown took to Oakland.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.